This is another episode in a series about some customizations that we have built for Odoo Pricelist. This one is going to be about SmartRound. And just before I get into it, we're making a few videos about these features that we develop. And my goal by showing these is to give business managers or business owners that are using or have an e-commerce store running ideas for what you can do for your businesses. Enough of that. Let's get into SmartRound. First, let me show you Odoo's way of rounding in price lists. In this case, we're in formula. We're doing a discount of negative 15% off of cost, which, because it's negative, it's actually going to be 15% markup, not margin, but markup over cost. And you can round that so that you can get to $9.99, that type of result by using the rounding method. This is where they show you that you can have prices end in $9.99 by setting the rounding to 10 and a surcharge of minus 1 cent. Well, that works fine unless your values range from a $10 product or a $10,000 product. You're going to not get a favorable result on one end of the spectrum or the other. You can set up some guardrails here with the minimum and maximum margin. So it will sort of work, but it's not quite, or at least we couldn't make this work for very small values and very large. So we came up with a different method. We handle rounding a bit differently, and then we have something called SmartRound. So I'll show you those right now. First, just to elaborate on the use case here, we have a product that is using a price list. So you can see the volume dealer price list ended up netting out to $10.04. If anybody was doing this manually, you'd probably set that price at $9.99, right? Like that. Now, that's the sales price I just set. Oh, save this. But this sales price doesn't apply for any of your customers that are a volume dealer. This is $10.04, and you'd want that to be probably this $9.99. And we're going to put our sales price back to what it should be for retail there at 30. This is just a sample product, obviously. Now let's look at our interface on the price list rule. So we can just pop over to there by opening up the volume dealer price list here. In here, you can see the extra fee and the rounding method are still here, Odoo's regular fields. But we have a max rounding percentage instead of max rounding range, which we think is a little more intuitive to set up. It still doesn't cover every use case, but we liked this a little bit better, but that's only our opinion. SmartRound is right here. With SmartRound, if we toggle this on, and we do have an example over here too, which kind of will ruin the surprise. I'm just going to save this now. And then we'll pop back over to the product section right here. We'll just use the breadcrumbs to go back. And now you can see instead of $10.04, our product is now $9.99 automatically. So the issue that you would have here, if this product was a higher cost product, like something that was $1,000, we'll just save so it refreshes. Now you get $999. So instead of rounding to the nearest penny, now it's rounding to the nearest dollar. And it rounded it down from that $1,004. Let's hop back over to our price list again. We'll turn off SmartRound and save our price list. And I'll just open our product in another tab. There we go. So you can see without SmartRound, your price list math ends up being $1,004. The magic in SmartRound is just by toggling that on, you get rounded prices when it makes sense. But when you get up to something that's $1,000, you probably wouldn't want to round to 5% because that's a $50 range. So we've set this up so that it automatically rounds to that $99 or 99 cents, but it is aware of whether this is a small amount in the tens of dollars or the hundreds, or if it's a higher amount, well, the hundreds would be a higher amount than the tens, I guess, or a higher amount in the thousands or more. So that's what we did. We think it's pretty sweet, and it inspires you to do something sweet for your business too.